Here we are, fellas. We are at the Ultimate Driving Museum for BMW. Figure I'm up this way. This is in Greensboro, South Carolina. I'm up this way for work, but I figured, you know, I might just stop in here because they have like a little automotive museum here. So we're gonna kind of walk around a little bit, show some of the cars. They got quite a collection here, fellas. I'm not much of a BMW nut myself, but there's a lot of really cool cars and a lot of really cool history in here. So, without further ado, we're going to kind of walk around a little bit. First bit we have here, that you guys can tell what this is. That is the E26 M1 Pro Car. Right next to the civilian variant. But I mean, look at this thing. Now, I grew up looking at posters of these cars. It's really cool to see them finally up close and in person. I mean, look at that. Look at that. By the way, every one of these cars, it's a race car that's in here, has either won that particular race or series or championship that it was entered in. So every single one of these cars, fellers, has been raced and is a winner. Every one of them. Now they've got another race car over here, which is actually really rare. We'll get to that in just a moment. And here we have the M1. It's a civilian variant. I don't know why I say civilian, but you know, non-race car. It's a really unique car. Really cool. And here we go. The very simplistic interior. Not much going on there, but I mean, in a performance car, you don't really need much going on there. You just listen to the magical hearse purrs coming out of the back there. Let's see, they got a little bit of detail on the car here. It's a power plant. It's got a 3,453 cc M88 inline 6-cylinder, producing about 277 horsepower at 6,500 RPM, 248 foot-pounds of torque at 5,000 RPM. Top speed of 162. Wow. A little bit of history they have. They have this on every single one of their cars here. It tells the backstory of the car itself, where it came from, who owned it, you know, what it's done, what it's been through. I mean, they have that for every one of these cars. That's really cool. It tells you a lot of the history about the car, and fellers, I'm definitely one for automotive history. That's really cool that they have that. This is that car I was talking about earlier. It's really rare. This is a very early example of BMW's race cars. Now, most of these cars would end up getting crushed or destroyed or dismantled because they did not want the competition buying them. So, there you go. Here's the inside of this car here. Very simplistic, very, very simple. Very straightforward. But man, look at this car. These colors. Really digging those colors, but that's cool. Look at that. Wish I could hear it run, man. Really do. So it's actually really rare to see one of these earlier cars. Because like I said, most of them got destroyed. A little bit of history on this guy here. There's a story on that if you want to pause it and read it. Now this car is actually really cool. This was purchased by a guy that was 17 years old, shipped from Europe to USA, from USA back to Europe. This thing had a full frame-off restoration. I mean, look, they got a mirror down here, fellers. Look how clean that is. There's not even drips or drops or nothing that I'm used to. I mean, goodness. Goodness gracious. Just an amazing piece of automotive history. Look at the interior on this, guys. Very cool. Here's the story on this car. Power plant, and then of course its owner there. A little bit of history on her. I want to pause that and read it. Very cool. Very cool. Now we're going to go down this line of cars here on this side. So, oop. Everywhere you look, there's a piece of history. It's a really cool place. If you guys are ever in South Carolina, Greensboro, I really recommend you come look at this place. Sorry, I got a little bit choked up there. Really recommend you guys come and look at this place. They're always rotating cars out. They always have a different theme. Over here we got a motorcycle. It's pretty cool. There's a history on that. We'll go back this way now. Here's the history on this white car here. Look at this, fellers. That's a classic right there. 75. Get that glare out of there in case you guys want to read the history on her. 131 miles an hour out of this little thing. That's pretty simplistic there, isn't it? Goodness, look at those fuses. Huh. Much simpler time. The interior on that, can't really see it because of the glare, but very simplistic. There's another race car they got here. The inside on that boy. Really cool. Super cool. We're going to have history on that. '89 E30. Man, all these cars are so clean you could eat off them. I don't have anything in my yard this clean. M series power plant. I mean, goodness, fellers. I mean, there's still some grime down in here, so that actually makes me happy, because that means that this car actually gets driven. It actually gets enjoyed. That's important to me. It's one thing to have a really nice car, but something entirely different that you don't enjoy her. Don't let her out on the open road, especially, something they call the ultimate driving machine. It's made to be driven. Over here we have the history of the M5 series. Just about every year of production up through here. Got a really rare one over in the corner over there. We'll get to that in a minute. They're all really clean. So cool. I guess this is all the foundation from BMW, all the awards they've gotten over the years. This place was established in 2002. This is going to be their 20th anniversary. So in that case, they're doing the Power of M is the theme. So they've got all kinds of memorabilia just about everywhere you look. It's just a piece of racing history. Really glad I stopped here. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at that purple. Gorgeous. There's history on this guy here. Trying to get rid of the glares the best I can. So just kind of bear with me. Gorgeous car. Getting a little newer. This is probably one of the most of the ones that we kind of grew up with and seen. Kind of fell in love with the whole BMW look here. This is a 2003 E39 M5. Oh, and they've got that gorgeous blue. I always really did like this blue, this shade of blue that BMW came out with. Absolutely stunning in the sun. Carbon black metallic. Gorgeous. Sorry, I'm getting fit by both of them here. Can't really. There we go. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, we got a pathway here. Kind of walk up and look at her. Look at all them buttons, fellas. But if you're a connoisseur of buttons, you're gonna like the car back over there in the corner. That thing's got more buttons than Darth Vader's bathroom. And I'll tell you what, I ain't kidding. I'm gonna say this is probably a 2008, 2009. Oh, 2007. I was close. Like I said, I'm not much of a BMW guy, but there's definitely a lot of automotive history to be had with BMW. Well, here's a 2015. Oh, got an engine. Oh, and it's a cutaway. Look at that, fellas. Look at all that carbon fiber. Carbon fiber. Oh, I'm standing on something. Gorgeous. So many times you'll hear me say that an engine is gorgeous, but she's definitely dressed for success. Got another race car over here. Take a look at this guy. Rolex 24 at Daytona. That's where this was raced. And it won. It's like every other race car they have in here. Every one of them has won at least the race or the championship that they were in. I really like the Le Mans type races, the 24s, man. That takes a real set of balls to run that. In my opinion, that's real racing. Between this and like actual rally racing, the 24 Le Mans and rally racing, that's racing, fellas, not NASCAR. I don't really care for NASCAR. You're just going in the circle. Well, these guys had a pair of balls. Yeah, it's a 21 Go5 X5. If you really E92. Story on that. Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh, that's probably just their number. I thought that was the VIN number for a second. I was like, wow, put the VIN numbers on there? This is that car I was talking about. It's kind of rare. You don't see very many of these in the coupe or the hatchback variant. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen one in person. I mean, you always see the ones that kind of look like the Miatas, and they got the kind of the swoop back there with the trunk and whatnot, but I don't think I've ever seen a wagon. That's pretty cool. Here's the history on that guy. Pretty rare. Oh, a pretty rare color too. Imperial or Impala brown metallic over dark beige leather. Guess that was a pretty unique color. You don't see many BMWs in this color. Pretty unique. Let me get you guys a proper shot of that. Got an E85 Roadster. Obviously been customized. There we go. History on that. There's another race car they got here. E86 Z4 M Coupe, 2007. History on that guy. Trying to do the best I can with these glares. There we go. Very cool. Very cool. Here's the car I was talking about, fellas, with all the buttons. This is one of the most advanced cars that BMW has ever produced to date. This is the 2018 F92 M3 GTE. Let's see if I can get, there we go. There's a history on that bad boy. Now I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you the interior on this car. You guys are going to go, holy cannoli. It's got more buttons than a Xbox joystick. But let's just take a minute to just take her in here. Let's just take her in for a second. Look at that. Look at all the burnt rubber on there. A digital number pad. I've never seen that on a race car. Ever. A carbon fiber skirt down there. It's definitely had its fair share of bumps and briggets, I suppose. So look at the back glass. Are you guys ready for this? Look at all them buttons. Screens and switches and knobs and doodads. Look at that. Like I said, that's more buttons than Porter John on the Death Star, I'll tell you. Really cool. And they have the safety car here. Wait till you get a look at these rims on this car. The wheels on this car. They're pretty darn intricate. Here's the history on that. Look at these wheels, fellas. Look at these things. These things are like some wheels from 2032, man. Look at that. Do you imagine how long it would have taken them to CNC that? Insane. Super cool. Guess we'll go down this line here. History on this car. It's a 2012 E92 M3 CRT, which is pretty rare. They were never sold in the US. So this is like one of two that is in the United States. All the carbon fiber trim. Really dig that red and black interior. Pretty sweet. Now this next car over here, absolutely love this orange, man. Look at this orange. 2013 E92 M3 Lime Rock. Not sure why they call it a lime rock, because it's definitely not lime. But man, she does give the squeeze, if you know what I mean. Look at this. Carbon fiber. Everywhere you look. And just that gorgeous, gorgeous shade of orange. The whole roof's carbon fiber. The mirrors are carbon fiber. Spoiler's carbon fiber. I'm sure it's got carbon fiber goodies all throughout the inside, and it sure does. Love that orange. 2003 E46 M3 Csl. History on that. What the who? What do you think goes in that hole? Probably something important. It's a nice color. Pretty nice car. Another one with a carbon fiber roof. You know, one thing I always liked about BMWs, just about every one of them's a standard. Here's a car I'm sure plenty of us will recognize. A 95 E36 M3 Lightweight. 95, only a couple of years younger than me. Go back and history on that guy. Can't remember if I did the showed you guys a history on this GST2. There we go. Pretty cool. So that's all the cars that are in here. Of course, they've got some artwork over there. Driving suits. Posters everywhere. Lots of little pamphlets with information. Race car parts everywhere you look. It's a really cool place, fellas. Really cool place. Very happy that I stopped here. Let's take a look at what they got in this case over here. Look at this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Trophies, racing memorabilia. Oh, look, fellers, they even got Legos. What doesn't this place have? Really cool. These are all hand paintings. I mean, look at that. I like this artwork just as much as I like the cars. I mean, look. Somebody painted that. That's so cool. Each individual piece is kind of representing a point in time, past to present. That's really cool. A couple of other things here. Pieces of history. Now apparently, all these was painted with coffee. How crazy is that? I mean, look at the detail in some of these. Like, this is like pencil and coffee. Love stuff like this. It's amazing. So anyways, there's the Ultimate Driving Museum, Greensboro, South Carolina. If you guys are in the area or ever around, I definitely recommend you guys come up here and you check it out. It's only like 12 bucks. And they got all these cars here. Each little pamphlet tells you the history about the car and kind of its historical significance. Not only just that, but it also tells you the personal story behind every single one of these cars. They also have a little thing that you can scan here, and it gives you an audio tour. So it's like you having your own personal tour guide. But yeah, if you guys are ever in the area and you're looking for something kind of cool to do, swing up here to the Ultimate Driving Museum. Everyone's here that I've talked to has always been super nice, super knowledgeable about everything that's in here. Really cool place. Super happy I stopped in here. Anyways, that's going to be Twisted Piston signing off from the Ultimate Driving Museum. Catch you guys later.